Guys, welcome back to the Be Better podcast, episode 45, with our good friend of ours, David Passanisi, and his phenomenal business, The Stable Mobile Fitness. David, how's it going, brother?
It's excellent. Things are going great. Thanks for having me, Nate and Matt.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
man. Love the gym. Love the gym. It looks awesome
Thank
right
you.
there.
Thank you, man.
yeah. So
So
I want to start off with this really quick. I want to share my screen and just let people get a taste before we do the deep dive of this. I don't even know what you want to call it. Apparatus, maybe? I mean, I don't even know what you want to call it, but it is the coolest thing I've ever seen in the fitness world. So, gentlemen, what you're
genius.
looking at here is a mobile fitness center, which my boy in this sexy Ram truck, because I drive a Ram, will bring right to you. So, David, tell me more about this conglomerate here. What is this guy?
So this trailer is actually what I love about it is it's American-made, veteran-owned company from Beaver Fit. They're in Reno, Nevada. And so I had this idea years ago, maybe 10, 11 years ago, to do something mobile. And when I started looking into selling my business and getting into the fitness industry, I started searching, some mobile apparatuses, and I came across this and just wanted to support the veterans. And it's just a quality build. So this is actually, it looks a lot bigger on the website, but it's actually only an 8-foot trailer.
Wow,
Hmm.
really?
Yeah.
Are there any more pictures on here?
Um, I think you might be, it's pretty much it. There's a video um, down below.
Mm-hmm.
And I have quite a bit of it on my Instagram page.
Yeah,
But
that's no
you have
worries.
attachments, right? That kind of it looks like
Yeah, so on
up
the
there.
trailer, it's there's two foldable pull-up bars that come up, and they can go different heights, and they can hold up to 400 pounds each. And then there's a squat rack that folds out that can hold up to 500 pounds. I mean,
Yes.
all kinds of equipment inside, from 500 pounds of bumper plates to barbells to a dip. You can see it on the website.
Uh-huh.
There's a dip
Yeah.
station there. I got the anchor cable systems you can see on the squat rack there. It's like doing flies and presses with it. I got landmines and sandbags and kettlebells and maces, TRX. I mean, whatever you can think of, I probably have.
That's probably like probably what 200, 300 types of exercises you could do. Is
There's a
that
there's a
probably
ton of
more?
exercises you can do. Yeah, yeah. There's so much on that trailer. There's slam balls. There's shelving, storage bands. Dumbbells, kettlebells. I got these things called CMBs. They're from Sornex. They're round. I don't know if you've seen pictures of them before, but the handle's inside. It's kind of like an inverted kettlebell, but
I was
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah.
just going to
I
ask you
saw
about
that.
that because I saw
I
yeah,
think
that.
they're
Brian
they
Shaw has some of those.
yeah,
Right,
they you can see it. There's a picture of them.
right
It
there.
distributes the weight evenly around your wrist. It's really nice, especially for certain exercises like renegade rows.
So that's
Yeah.
awesome. So you can tailor to any type of customer exactly, right? Whether they're young, old, if they have some type of impingement or some type of um, you know injury going on, you can adapt to that, right?
Exactly. I mean, I'm all about adapting and pivoting. So
That's
whatever the
So,
challenge is, I'm down.
so we're going to put all these links for all the viewers out there, guys. We're going to put all these links to his website and his Instagram page and all the other platforms as well. We're going to put those links out there for people can check them out. I've actually never seen dumbbells like this. Can you explain to me? I know you said it distributes the weight evenly, but can you kind of tell me a little bit more about these?
Yeah, Sornex created them. I think there's another company called Fat Bell. I think I've seen on Rogue website before, Rogue Fitness.
Okay.
But Sornex, they're made out of ductile iron. I mean, you can toss these things. You can see people throwing these things. I think you said something about Brian Shaw having them. I'm sure
yeah.
he can throw this thing over a wall. But like a renegade row, if you're with a round dumbbell or a hexagon dumbbell, that can twist your wrist when you're in that position. This is like perfect for it. Wood chops. I mean, there's so much stuff you can do with it. I really prefer them over dumbbells. And they just look cool.
They do look cool. They look
Yeah.
smooth.
Dude, I'll tell you, man. I doing curls with dumbbells are one of my favorite exercises for sure. I'm totally an arms bro, and I hate to say it, but those are some of my favorite exercises. And I will tell you though, man, I've had some nasty wrist injuries doing certain things, and sometimes, man, my wrist does get a little sore, tight. You know what I mean? I wonder. I'm very eager to try those out because I would love to see if there's a difference in the quality control of my exercise. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of people, man, like when you start getting kind of weighing down and you're getting hurt and you're sore, right? Your reps get kind of half-assy. You know what I mean? I've always tried to be that guy, like, hey, when it starts to suck and the quality control is dropping, don't go any further because you're just going to do damage. So I
Correct.
wonder if I could knock out those extra 2 or 3 reps with one of these guys.
You know what? I'll bring the trailer to you sometime and you can try them out. How about
Dude,
that?
what a blessing. Matt has to be there too because Matt and I have talked about getting or Matt and I's schedule is nuts. And we've talked about getting a lift in together for months and it just has never happened. So,
Yeah.
Dude, that sounds
This is the
sick.
kids.
It's convenient. I just bring it to you. I'll bring it to your front door.
Hell yeah, dude. That sounds amazing. That'd be a sick
So-
workout.
That reminds me, when we're off the camera here later on, remind me to talk to you about something with my profession. I want to. This might be a good path we're going to go down, but we'll talk about that later. So
Yeah.
let's go back from the beginning, right? So like we've seen the what. First of all, real quick, do you have a name for that guy? It's better be called the Beast or something.
Are you talking about the guy behind me or the trailer?
The trailer, brother.
Really? Yeah, I
The
got a name
trailer.
for it. I don't really tell anybody the name, but there's a name.
I knew there was.
His name is Aries.
Oh,
God of War, baby.
nice. You
You
got
go to
Zeus.
war with yourself. There we go. Nice.
Dude,
Yeah, you
that's
go to
awesome.
war with yourself every time you get in the gym and you're trying to better yourself. So yeah, and I'm also an Aries, so it was an easy name.
I'm an Aries too. When's your birthday?
27th of March.
Mine's the 29th, brother. There we go.
Oh man, look at that.
Oh boy, that's crazy. Yeah, man, that's
Twinsies.
fucking awesome.
How
That is so cool. So
old are you
now that we
gonna
know
be? 8?
I'm sorry.
How old are you gonna be?
I'm gonna be 29.
29.
Young buck.
You are a young buck.
Young buck. Matt's gonna be what? 54.
Yeah, I just turned 34.
34. Okay.
Yeah, last month. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
we're all
man.
young.
That's
How,
excellent.
how old are
Cool.
you then, Dave?
I'll be 48.
32. Oh wow. Well,
48.
whatever you're drinking, dude, keep drinking it.
Thank you.
Looking young.
Yeah, man. 48's never looked so good, Dave. I'll tell you. So let's back it up because now my wheels are starting to turn here. My curiosity is at its peak. Let's back it up. So we've seen the Beast, we've seen Aries, that
Yep.
fucking awesome piece of machinery. God bless. Tell us more about kind of your fitness journey and like where this whole awesome idea to start a mobile fitness center started. Like, where did this come from?
Yeah. So, through the years, I mean, obviously in the beginning stages of my life and teenage years and my 20s, I didn't take care of myself too well. I liked to party and have a good time. I was a wild man, pretty much feral when my wife met me. But through the years, especially when I started my striping business, fitness was what I held on to kind of just get through the days and the tough days, That's how I came up with the name. This name is actually my home gym name. I named it the Stable because it stabilized me from day to day dealing with, clients, business, everything that comes with that. And I knew that with this, I can get through anything. So fitness, I could say, it could pretty much save my life,
Mhm.
So anyway, the concept of this was about 10 or 11 years ago. Me and a buddy of mine would always go just grab a few pieces of gear, kettlebells, mace, slam ball, a rubber block to hit with the mace, which is like a sledgehammer for any of your listeners not knowing what that is. And we would just go to a parking lot. We call them little flash thrashes, or a park, and we'd work out. And so that kind of resonated in my head. That was probably 2014. And that stuck with me, and through the years, I just started really, I had a trainer, one of my mentors, that really got me into a lot of modalities like kettlebell, and he was also my Krav Maga instructor, and Mike Diamond, shout out to Mike Diamond. And from there, I just kind of fell in love with, I just felt like I knew I needed to do this. Obviously, some people find their passions earlier in life. Mine was a lot later in life. But I really had a passion for it and really enjoyed showing people new techniques, new exercises. And, through the years, people were like, why are you not in the fitness industry? Why are you not doing this? So I had the opportunity to sell my business a couple of years ago. And I said, fuck it, let's go.
Hell yeah, man. So you Now, did you get licensed or certified at that time, or were you just kind
Yeah.
of like building up
Well,
the? Yeah.
yeah. Well, been training for a really long time, and then when I sold the business, I sold it in February 2023, and
Okay.
that process, by the way, was like 2 years. You know, from when I wanted to sell it to when I sold it was like 2 years. Everything takes time, right?
Yeah, of
Uh,
course.
and so there was a lot of logistics involved to getting that done. And then once I got it done, I took that year to study, to get my certifications, to just hone in on it more, just to get legitimized. I've been training for a long time, but didn't have the certifications or anything like that. So went and did that, got NASM certified, as a personal trainer, as a nutrition coach.
Mm.
Went up to Iowa to an instructor, Krav Maga boot camp, basically, and it was like 4 10-hour days of just getting thrashed, and did that, and traveled a little bit, and then by the end of the year I already had ordered the trailer. I got the trailer in December of 2023. Bought all the equipment. Most of my equipment in the trailer is Sornex, another American made awesome company. And Yeah, from there we started rolling. Got the LLC lined up, got the website going, and started getting out there a little bit.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. So let me ask you this. So like, obviously you're mobile, obviously. So like, where all do you service?
So I like to stay in like a 30-mile radius,
Hmm.
but really I'm here to help people. So if I got to go a little further out and people are interested in training, uh, you know, I'm willing to go a little further, you know.
Now,
Uh,
where are you based at? For if people don't know.
I live in Wildwood, Missouri.
Right.
So, most of my clients currently right now are kind of like, town and country, Frontenac, Ladue area. Um, and I have one client that actually comes here. The gym you see behind me, this is my home gym. This is my third home gym. It keeps getting bigger. And I don't know if you guys know who Gunnar Peterson is. He's a fitness trainer to the stars. He like buys every piece of fitness gear that's ever been created. I feel like I'm a little junior Gunnar because I like buying fitness gear. It's a problem, but I enjoy it.
That's crazy, man. So after leaving South City back in the day, I lived in Eureka for a long time, and I just moved from Eureka, so I know Wildwood like the back of my hand. I mean, I went to Eureka High School. Know a lot of my buddies went to Lafayette, so that's really cool that you're 30 miles from Wildwood is pretty much all of the St. Louis Metro, a little bit of Illinois, and then all the way to the Aston, to Jefferson, and Franklin County. So you got a
Yeah,
perfect service area to accommodate just about anybody.
exactly. And trying to get a little different price points as well. I'm trying to get, I don't know if I'm going to do it. It's kind of some red tape trying to get permits to do boot camps at parks. Trying to do it the right way, instead of playing stupid. But I'd like to start doing that for a little cheaper price point instead of the personal one-on-one training that I've been doing.
So what's your let's say me, Matt, and a couple of my buddies, like what's the max amount of people that you can comfortably work out with this guy?
Um, you could do the trailer states that you can train up to 12 people on it.
Wow.
To run
So,
circuits.
yeah, just run circuits, stuff like that. So I could probably do a little bit more than that, but 12 is usually what they're saying with all the equipment and gear that I have. You'd definitely be switching stations for sure.
Yeah, that's a good group. It's a big group. Yeah. So, with that being said, you done. Is that the highest you've ever done, or is that something that like it would be max?
I have that's the highest I've done with training. Like when I do little self-defense seminars, there's usually a few more guys than that. But
Okay. And so, take it back to individual. How do you map their goals and their needs per a workout? Like, how do you break that down for them?
yeah, so basically, when you first sign up with me, there's usually some forms to fill out on my website. It's kind of like an HHQ, like health history questionnaire, mixed in with like a PARQ, which is a physical activity readiness questionnaire. And so I
Mhm.
get a lot of information there, like have you had surgeries? Are you on medication? How's your sleep? How's your nutrition? Are you currently working out? Like see what your fitness level is. and then talk to them about their goals. And then when I first meet with them, usually that first session is like an assessment. Go through a few different exercises, see if there's any deficiencies or impingements or anything like that. And then we go from there. Like they really based on what they want to do. This is a la carte. So it's like, unless we're doing boot camps or group training, that's basically like, let's run through some stations and do whatever we're going to do and get a good workout in. But
Mhm.
for the most part, with my clients, it's like, do you want to lose weight? Do you want to gain muscle? Do you want to do the both of those things? And go from there, you know? Um, and really introduce them to make it fun. I like to do a lot of different exercises and use different tools. So I get bored real easy, and so I'm all over the place. So I got to like keep it fun, and then I do that for my clients as well.
That's awesome. I mean, you have all the tools to have fun with. So, I mean, I definitely applaud you for that.
Thank you.
So, say that's a typical person who wants to lose weight. How about on the other side where people have like goals of doing bodybuilding shows? Are you able to do something that tailors to them as well? Do
Yeah, I
you
mean, we could do
clients?
bodybuilding lifts,
Mhm.
but if they're really serious about that, like, I can help them with that. But I'm sure there's other guys as well. I'm not trying to sell myself out here, but there's other guys that I even know here in town that are, used to be pro bodybuilders that, if you're really serious about it, I would recommend going to somebody that's actually done that, you
Okay.
know.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, lifting weights, hypertrophy, trying to build muscle. I mean, I can definitely help with that. But if you're going to want to be a bodybuilder, a pro bodybuilder, go to one of those guys. You know,
Okay.
uh,
Yeah.
but I can definitely help. I mean, we're trying to put muscle on. That's the longevity currency, right? So we want to add as much muscle as we can so we can live a long life. That's the
Absolutely.
goal anyway. You know.
And then what about um what's your thoughts on like nutrition? I know you said you had a little bit of nutrition background. How do you dive in deeper with the clients on how to stick to it?
Yeah, so it's interesting because I just started not that long ago. So I try not to push clients. So if the clients of mine, and some of them just started working out, right? I'm not going to overload them with, all right, we're going to work out all the time now. Now we're going to do all this nutrition. It's overwhelming and overbearing. And that's how you crash and burn. So we start with just movement. Some of my clients started with me with 2 days a week. Then they went to 3 days a week. Then they started doing workouts on other days that they're not with me. So now they're starting to create that lifestyle. Then all I do is say, instead of subtracting foods, I say, try to hit your protein targets. And so we're just adding something instead of subtracting, right? So let's say try to hit 1 gram of protein per pound of weight, and see if you can do that consistently for a while. A lot of people say it's hard. It isn't easy. But if
Yeah,
you supplement it with some shakes, you can knock it down pretty easy. So,
absolutely.
but so I start with that, and then you just go from there. I mean, I tried every once in a while on my Instagram. I'll post like what I'm meal prepping for the week for me and my son.
Oh, that's
Um,
genius. Yeah, there you
and
go.
it's basic. It's basic shit, dude. I mean, it's like whole foods, and you
Mhm.
want a protein, a carb, with some vegetables. You want a little fat. So like lately, I've been on this purple cauliflower kick. So I
Oh,
do
I've
like
seen that. That looks so
steam
good.
that. Yeah, steam some purple cauliflower, steam some jasmine rice, and I'll grill some chicken thighs, boneless, skinless chicken thighs, or I'll do some ground beef. And simple, I'll throw maybe some tomatoes in there, some sliced pickled jalapenos or something, and it's colorful, whole foods. It hits the macros perfect, and yeah, I can do that all week. Nutrition. It's like if you're trying to get somewhere with it, it's not really appealing. Like I grew up on the hill where that's all we did was eat food, pastas,
Mhm.
and all kinds of stuff like that. But yeah, it's like during the week I eat the same stuff. It's very boring. It's very boring, but I enjoy it. But it's like it's the
Yeah,
same thing Monday through Friday, and then on the weekend, the wife and I will go out to a nice dinner, and I'll eat whatever I want to eat. Typically, it's still pretty good though. I'll eat like a fish or steak and whatever.
mhm.
So, but yeah, I mean, nutrition's like I'm not really pushing that right now. When they're ready, and they've been talking about some of my clients have been talking about it, and then we'll start hitting that. But right now, it's like let's start moving, and then from there, let's start adding our protein, and then from there, we can start, get rid of the seed oils, get rid of all the processed shit. Don't be eating fast food, you
Keep it
know.
simple.
Yeah, keep
Simple.
it simple. That's right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The
So let's go back real quick. So one thing that people I think miss out on fitness, right? And obviously you're a beast in this category, but I think half of it too is so you're saying that with your clients, you're willing to help out with their nutrition as well.
Yes.
I think that's a huge, huge, huge piece of the pie, no pun intended, that people forget about. We can do as much exercising as possible, right? But if we're eating 15, pizza rolls every hour and eating 15 cakes a day, it doesn't really matter. The nutrition side is such the stronger piece of armor in the background that's the foundation of the whole fitness journey. So for you to be able to help out your clients with that is, I mean, that's super invaluable to someone like myself and Matt who have we
I
both have
understand.
had weight loss journeys and we work out as much as we can obviously and try to do the right thing sometimes we slip up, but to have that critical foundation piece of element in the background to basically build them a platform for success is absolutely mission critical in my opinion.
Oh, it is. I mean, they always say you can't outrun a bad diet. It's true. I mean, it's like 80% of it right
80%,
there.
yeah.
You can get big and strong, but if you really want to get cut up and look good, you really got to dial in your nutrition.
And they say if you work out pretty good too, right, on a regular basis, that also suppresses your appetite, and
Yeah.
you're burning more calories. So I mean, it's a win-win.
When you're eating whole foods too, like the thing is about like processed shit. It's
Fulfilling.
like you'll eat a lot of it. It's meant for you to eat a lot, you know. It's like got some addictive qualities to it, and then it's just a little bit later you're hungry. It doesn't have any substance to it. So when you eat whole foods, it actually keeps you fuller longer. You know, um,
Yeah.
you don't want to be
I,
eating a big bag of Doritos and
Oh my gosh, you could like I don't know for you guys, but for me, I could eat some Doritos, right? And like I said, 5 minutes later, another. But if I eat like a sweet potato or whole like any type of other potato, like I'm
yeah.
good for like, 2 3 hours. That
so what do they call that, right? Nutrients dense food, right? Like the more nutrients dense it is, the less you have to eat of it to because we've all been there. Like I know for a fact all of us here can polish a whole bag of Lay's, right? No problem. And
Oh,
still
I've done that, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, and you're hungry 25 minutes later, and you want something more salty and savory, right? So, the nutrients dense part of that. I mean, my wife helps clinically diagnose people that are obese lose weight. She's a health and weight loss coach. So, um, this is what she preaches, right? Like staying away from these foods that are kind of like sawdust in a bag, right? And focusing on these nutrients dense foods. So if you do have a meal, you're getting the most value out of every bite, right?
For
So
sure. And another
absolutely.
tip
And eat the
is like,
micro.
yeah, another tip is when you're eating and you're setting up your food on your plate, start with your protein. So that way you're hitting your protein targets, and that makes you more satiated anyway. So if you eat your protein first, you won't start grazing on all the other crap, maybe more fats or more carbohydrates. So start with eating your protein first.
I've never actually heard of that in my whole life of eating your protein first. I've heard like, hey, you should drink a cup of water before you eat and all that stuff. But like, I've never heard of like eating your protein first. That is crazy.
Yeah.
I always eat my protein
Try that next time
first.
you have a big plate of food and see if you're going to eat all the other stuff on there.
Damn, I'm gonna have to switch it up because I always eat the sides first.
Do you?
Yeah, I think I'm like slightly autistic in that regard or something. But I always eat the sides first. It's like been a thing for me for my whole life. Like if we have, chicken strips or a chicken parmesan and something on the side, right? Like green beans. I won't even touch the main until my sides are done. That's crazy.
See, I grew
Yeah,
up the
yeah. I
opposite.
mean, it's keeps you satiated. I mean, obviously a protein shake won't, but
Hmm.
if you're
Right.
eating chicken or beef or something like that, you're definitely going to fill yourself up.
That's good to hear. I mean, and I have a kind of a unique diet situation myself. I got diagnosed with alpha gal, so I can't eat anything with a hoof. So no protein with a hoof. No deer, no venison, no lamb, no sheep, no beef, no pork. So I have to focus on primarily poultry. So it's I'm
What
eager
about
to.
fish?
I'm allergic to shellfish, so I kind of just hate fish by proxy because they're in the same hemisphere. But um, I need to open my horizons to fish more and stop being a baby.
Yeah, just don't do the tilapia thing. Everybody's like, I'm eating tilapia. That stuff's like farm raised. That they're eating their own crap. It's got no
Yeah, it's kind of
nutrition.
trash. Do you
You
like
know,
halibut or like
I love halibut. I love
cod?
yeah, salmon, halibut,
Um,
sea bass. That's
oh,
some.
sea bass is really good.
Yeah, there's
Little,
definitely a whole world that I can be, open up to for sure. But so I have a question. You kind of touched on it earlier, right? But tell me, and I'm sorry to the audience there. My camera for some reason spammed out, so I'm just going to try to remain off the books here on the camera side for a minute. But you guys stay on. I don't know what's going on with my internet today, but it tanked for me. So you mentioned it earlier. I'll ask you again. Who is kind of like your ideal client? Like, is this the person that is 500 pounds that is life saving, or is like this the guy that like, hey, I'm kind of dragging my feet. I just need to work with a pro.
Honestly, all of those, all the above. I mean, I'm here to help everyone. So when I sold this business, the idea was anyone that's willing to put in the work, I want to help. So whether they're having a health crisis and they're overweight and they want to lose some weight, or they're already kind of in shape but they just want to dial it in even more. I mean, I'm here to help any and all, and it doesn't
Amen.
matter of age or anything. One of my clients is going to be 71. Uh, this June, and she's such a savage. But she gets after it with me a couple times a week. She just wants to build more strength. She's older. Women have they're more prone to osteoporosis. She has that, and so we're just getting her strong and working on balance too. As you get older,
That's
it's
functioning.
yeah. So my ideal client is anybody that's willing to put in the work. You know.
Hmm. How about kids? Have you worked with kids? You have experience with kids? What's your
I
thoughts on like
haven't
training
worked
those
with
kids?
Yeah, I haven't worked with really, really young kids. Like,
Oh, like high school, I guess. I would.
in high school, yeah, I've worked with teenagers. Even before I started this business, when I still had my striping business, people, would come over and I would train them. And a buddy of mine had a hockey team he was coaching, and the fellows came over and they got after it. It was like a Friday night. I'm sure all of their, their teams that they're playing against are out there having a good time on Friday night. They were with me getting after it, doing burpees and, kettle.
Yeah. How do you I don't want to say battle, but like I know a lot of people these days ego lift. How do you deal with that for a client perspective? Like, how would
Yeah,
you explain
the good thing is none of my clients are ego lifting right now. But at my
it?
age, at almost 48, there is no ego lift because I don't want to get injured. This is a lifestyle, and this is what I want to do. I want to be active. So when someone calls me like they did last year and go, "Hey, we're hiking the Grand Canyon," I'm ready to go.
Absolutely.
I don't have to get ready because I stay ready. But the ego lifting, I haven't been to a box gym or a public gym in a while. I've always had my home gym or I have my trailer.
Mm,
So I don't know what it's like out there anymore. I don't go to those
mm,
gyms, but I'm sure there's some people that still ego lift. I mean, you're just eventually, it might work for you for a while, but eventually you're going to get injured. You know,
absolutely.
it's
Especially the older
quality
you get
over
too. Yeah.
quantity. You can make a lot of lightweight feel heavy, by just turning the tempo down, doing isometrics, just doing, you can make 35-pound dumbbells feel heavy on bench press. You just have to
Hmm.
count to 5 on the way down and hold it. I mean, it's just, you're limited to your imagination. So you just figure out how you want to work out and go from there. I just don't want to get injured. So I'm not sitting there trying to lift. I'm not a power lifter, you know?
Yeah. Funny story. When I actually started getting into lifting, um, my uncle was like, we don't have a bunch of money. Why don't you just get some milk cartons, throw some rocks in there? They get heavier, throw some more rocks in there. If it breaks, we'll throw it around some duct tape, just kind of rig it that way. And, I used to do some just overhead presses, bench press, whatever I could get movement wise as I'm on the ground, just crazy stuff like that. But, the whole point of it was just be mindful of what you got around you and just do what you can, right?
Yeah.
At that young age. So it's
Yeah.
very interesting that, you can do anything with anything, but at your own pace. And,
Yeah. When we were younger, there wasn't really a lot of the internet wasn't there. I didn't have cell phones. There wasn't, if you had to learn something, you went to the library and figured out you had the fitness magazines. You know what I mean?
right.
So,
Mhm.
like there was even the coaches in high school, there wasn't really guys that were highly trained to teach them. They were ego lifting there. They were seeing how much you can squat or deadlift or bench press. And, there's little cues like people have shoulder injuries. Shoulders always get hurt. The cue is everything you do. If you just take this one little piece of advice, tuck your shoulder blades in and down, and you won't hurt your shoulder. Like that's
Stabilize that spine.
yeah. You need to seat that in this, that shoulder and that rotator cuff. You need to seat it pretty nicely so that you're not going to hurt it. People back in the day, I know I've hurt my shoulder back in the day before I learned that little nugget. You know, uh,
Mhm.
and it's those little things, making sure your form is correct. You should think about those cues every time you're getting ready to do a lift. Like
Absolutely.
how's your back, how's your legs, where's your feet placed. You know, like with a kettlebell swing. you see a lot of people when they're swinging it and they're coming down and they're horizontal to the floor, they lift their head up like this.
A hyperextended.
That strains your neck. Like wherever your torso is, your head.
Mhm.
That's how you should be.
No, that's good information. Don't want no one to hurt themselves. And
Yep.
speaking of kind of like injury wise, do you offer anything that's kind of like recovery? I see those. Forgive me if I don't know their name, but like there's like they look like moon boots. They're
Oh
compressions that
yeah.
kind of, you know. Do you
Yeah,
offer
I
anything like
actually
that?
have those. They're actually here at my house just for us to use here. But if a client wanted to use them, I bring them for them to use. You know, I have some recovery tools in the trailer, like some lacrosse balls, some foam rollers, Theragun, things like that. Some bands you can use. I have a SOAS, little releaser
Oof,
that I have.
that's
Yeah, so I have some mobility tools that they can use, but that stuff like here at my house, it's like a wellness center here. I've got like the compression boots. I have cold plunge. I have sauna. All kinds of massage
Oh, I love
apparatus.
saunas. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome. You got the whole deal, man. That's awesome. It's impressive.
yeah. Thanks.
So yeah, I see some pads back there. Do you also train the Krav Maga that you mentioned about earlier, or is it just
Yeah,
strictly like okay?
yeah. I trained a couple clients right now. Currently, Krav Maga. I do a few. Retreats where men's retreats and some other ones. I've done some women's self-defense seminars too, a couple of them last year. Um, they're obviously different. I've done a family too, where there's a family of kids and men and women, but you're going to teach all those individuals something different because they're going to come across something different. A man's going to come across a different violent attack than a woman is, and there's certain things that the kids may or may not be able to do as well. So it's different. So I like to break them down in groups. So I'll be teaching the men something different than I teach the women for sure. Some basics that are everyone can learn, but there's scenarios that a woman's going to come across than a man.
Yeah, we agree with that. It's pretty challenging with the different sexes in different
Yeah,
situations. It's kind of scary, especially like in St. Louis. It's you know, I mean that's one of the reasons why we got out of the city. Unfortunately, I just got to a not safe place.
yeah.
But
We're not number one anymore though, right? Like we used to be. We used to hold that trophy.
Depends who you
wow,
ask. The stats are always skewed, but depends who you ask. But so in regards to that, though, it sounds like you kind of have like a custom tailored solution for any client. Then
Yeah, I mean, if you need me to personal train you, if you need me to give you some nutrition tips, if you want to learn some self defense, this is all in one, and I bring it to your home. So I bring it to your home or place of work. I mean, corporate wellness, take it to an office. I had some clients last year in Westport, and I would just pull up, and at lunchtime, the fellows would come out and we'd work out. You know, so trying to just provide all I can, honestly, um, and make it convenient.
yeah, I
so
love that, man. Because in my opinion, right, half the battle for people, like it's getting up and going to the gym, right? So like half the battle is like, oh fuck, I don't want to drive 25 minutes. I don't want to drive 10 minutes. I don't want to go there. Oh, it's too hot, it's too cold, whatever. Oh, I don't have the time, whatever. It's all these mental excuses, right? If the gym comes to you and it's in your driveway or you're in front of your house or
right.
your work's parking lot, what's the excuse?
I eliminate all those excuses. It's like I'm going to show up to your house. I'm already going to have a workout set for you that we talked about with your goals. I'm going to have it all set up for you. You're going to get your workout. I'm here to motivate you, be a force multiplier, and then you can walk back in your house, get ready for work or whatever you're doing, and I'll load everything up and I'll leave. So it leaves no excuse, you know. Um,
Also, too, like for me, like, and maybe I didn't experience this too much, but I know people do. Maybe the people that are really trying to lose the weight, right? They're struggling. They're kind of maybe on the bigger side right now. Maybe they're self conscious about going to the gym and being judged, right? So, like,
Exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
private.
a great point, Nate, because that's another reason why I wanted to do this. So some people just do not want to go to a gym and they feel insecure. And this way, this is very private. I'm showing up to your house. If you don't have a good driveway to park in, you don't want to be doing it in your street in front of your neighbors. Like we can meet at a park and work out there in a secluded area, like whatever you want to do to try to get your goals, I'm here to help, and support that. So, yeah, those are all the ideas I came up with when I wanted to do this concept. And yeah, I'm just trying to eliminate excuses and really try to get everyone to their optimal health.
Good. You're gonna need another trailer, man.
Yeah, I mean, a couple buddies of mine said that. I'm like, I had employees. I did that thing with my other business. Not interested in that anymore. It's a lot of work, and
Yeah.
I had that experience. It was fine, but this is just I'm keeping it this. And once my schedule is completely full, obviously there's some turnover. Some people train with you for a while and they leave, so there'll always be opportunities. I'll try to get boot camps. I want to try to reach as many people as possible, honestly. But and I worked 7 days a week with my last business, and it wasn't my passion. So like I have no problem working, you know, all day long, every day to get people in shape. This is what I do.
I love it, man. You used to just
So,
tell the passion spewing, dude.
so from a business standpoint, because I'm a business guy, I've helped and created many businesses in my back tenure. Um, no plans to franchise?
Currently right now, no. I do step by step. So right now, I think that's looking too far ahead. I'm not against anything. I like to leave all options open, but currently right now, I just sticking with me, and that's it. You know, um, and but you know what, Nate? Who knows? You never know.
I mean, the best way to quality control is to keep it in house, right? To do yourself, right? Let's say you franchise, you get your name out there, you lay out the perfect groundwork for success, but somebody tries to do their own thing, or maybe they veer off the path. Then you can't really stand for the results. You know what I mean? So I respect and appreciate 110% of what you're trying to do. Um,
Thank you. Yeah,
that
I've
summer,
tried that. I've tried that. I mean, it took me years to let go of the reins when I first started my striping business, and I think I did myself a disservice because I just wanted to handle everything, and it got too busy and so busy where I'm out having meetings, I'm out bidding jobs, I'm out doing all the work, I'm training guys that are with me, and I just wanted to do all the striping and do all of it for the clients. And over the years, I finally had to let go. And I had some really good guys working for me. I had some not so good guys too, but I had some really good guys working for me, and end up having a few crews that were out there doing it. By the time that I
yeah,
sold it.
the quality control is tough, man. I mean,
Yeah,
truly, I mean, I get it from somebody who's, like I said, been a part of multiple businesses and has successful exits and successful creations. Like the quality control is hard, man, because like if you're a perfectionist and that's your baby, like everything about the business is your life. You eat, sleep, and breathe it, right? Somebody might
exactly.
be excited, but like they're never gonna have that level of passion and that level of precise as you do. So
I have mistakes, you know.
yeah, or the same thing, right? They don't have as much skin in the game. So, like on the flip side, you're
Yeah,
trying to create a business, grow a business. 80% of your time you're doing that. 20% is babysitting most of the time, right? And
yeah.
it's
I
a
mean,
20% is a big piece of the pie to go against something else.
yeah, trying to build a culture is very difficult, and I see some companies here, local companies, doing a great job at that. But it's not easy. I mean, and it really comes down to like I know that obviously at that time it's a busy time of year, spring to fall in the striping industry. So you need bodies out there doing the work. And sometimes, I mean, it's all on you, right? Like extreme ownership, like Jocko says, but like, you're the one hiring people and keeping them around. So sometimes you have some bad attitudes out there and you might deal with it a little longer than you wanted to just because you're just trying to accommodate the client. Um, and,
Sure.
and yeah, I mean, business is not easy and trying to expand and grow it is a challenge. And through all those times too. I mean, I've been through recessions and all kinds of stuff, shortages and materials, and actually COVID though. Honestly, when I had my striping business, I was thriving at that time because everyone was at home. There was no traffic, so I wasn't paying my guys extra drive time, and the parking lots were empty, so I was crushing during COVID.
Hell yeah.
I love it,
What
man.
about? I had a question about the like liability side. If someone like do they need to sign a waiver? Like, how does that kind of work with
Yeah,
that?
Yeah, so good question, Matt. On the website, when you fill out that HHQ Part Q form, so I can see where you're at and you're ready, there's also a waiver to sign, and I'm fully insured. Although the insurance was pretty challenging on this, because this is like the insurance company. I don't think they've seen this type of business
Right.
before. And they're like, wait a minute, you're going to people's houses and training them, but you're also teaching self-defense, like you're punching people in the face at like their houses. I'm like, well, I'm not punching anybody in the face. And also, yeah, I mean, we're doing self-defense. So like, it cost me some money to get fully insured to do this, you know.
That's
Uh,
awesome that they're able to.
yeah, and it took me a couple insurance companies to get finally someone to go, okay, cool, we're good, you know.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think we're getting close to the hour mark here, so I think we should start gearing down towards more so of like how can no doubt about it, David. You have our endorsement, 110%. I can't wait to get a workout in with you. I can't wait to see this fucking beast roll up to my house and work out. I mean, this is just incredible, man. Like I'm super pumped for it. I know Matt is too. Guys, if you're in the St. Louis area and you see this episode and you're looking to just explore a new universe of fitness, I mean, just what's the worst case, right? You're gonna try it out, and you're gonna get too good of a workout. There's no con to this. There's no negative. There's no excuses here. I mean, I'm a big fan of this. David, plug yourself in as best as you can, so people can find this goddamn thing.
And he's got limited spots too.
I'm easily available. You just call me, accessible. You can reach out to me on Instagram or send me a message or an email, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you if you have any concerns before you even set up an appointment. And yeah, I mean, I'm basically, I'm not here just to train people. I want to really see people thrive in life and be healthy. And we didn't touch on this, but I try to put group hikes together every month. And it really is nature's healing, and to get out there in nature and meet like-minded people. And, I always preach camaraderie, sunlight, fresh air, nature, movement. And I try to set one up every month, and it's free to everyone. I usually post it on my Instagram, and it shows a video, shows like a location, meeting point, how long the hike's going to be. And it's a great way to meet some like-minded people if you're wanting to get into a healthier lifestyle, and really just trying to make a difference. Another thing I do preach is, everybody talks about their EDC, their everyday carry. If you keep this EDC, which is effort, consistency, and discipline, or discipline and consistency, those things will get you pretty far in life, no matter what you're doing.
Oh, I love that. Love that.
Dude, I completely agree. Well, David, thank you so much for being our 45th guest on the show. What an absolute honor it has been to connect with you over the last hour and kind of learn more about just this phenomenal idea, and you guys just breaking the mold on fitness. I mean, truthfully, right? I mean, you're combating all the real negatives of fitness that people have, right? The excuses, the inconveniences. I mean, you're just finding those barriers and you're just breaking them down brick by brick. So, I mean, kudos, and I commend the hell out of you and everybody that works out with you guys. I mean, it's just what a blessing it is that you guys have created for people.
I appreciate you guys for having me. And yeah, I'm really trying to make a difference locally here, and we'll go from there. Who knows where this will take me, but really I'm just trying to make a ripple effect of just positive change in people's lives. After, COVID was another catalyst of me wanting to start this business and get into fitness, is that there was a lot of people needlessly getting sick and hurt or dying because they weren't taking their health serious. So for me, just getting people to move. I mean, even if you're sitting on the couch and you haven't been working out and you're thinking about exercising, but it just seems daunting to do, just start walking. Just start walking every day, right after your meals too, right after your dinner, go for a walk. It's nice out now, go for a walk and get some steps in, they say about 10,000 steps a day. I try to at least get that every day. But start there, and it's incremental. It doesn't have to be like, what happens when everybody starts their new year, new me thing is they try to go all out with their diet and nutrition and their exercise, and they crash and burn within weeks. So it's incremental. And that's what I try to teach my clients, is like, just one step at a time. As long as you're moving forward, you're going in the right direction. So
I love that. If I can kind of piggyback off that, just maybe like a closing thought, right? So like in relation, when Matt and I started the podcast in the August of 2023, right? God, that's crazy to say. But so My point is, we never started this monetarily wise, right? We never had any ambition of making a penny off this. And in fact, I'm about me personally, because I don't make Matt pay for anything because I love him too much, but I'm about $2,000 in the hole on this podcast. I've never made a penny off it. And I don't give a fuck if it turns into $20,000 because I know for a fact we went into this with the mentality of we're going to help somebody. It doesn't matter if we help 10,000 people, 100,000 people, or one person.
I love it.
That's always been the game plan. And I know for a fact, Matt, and you know this too, we have been able to help a few people. And to me, that means that I'm going to do this until I'm 95 and God calls me home because it's worth it. We've already helped we already helped some. I'm hoping to help more. And I'm glad that you share the similar philosophy. I mean, it's the best way to be.
It really is. I mean, you get so much more out of life when you're helping other people. And this is what it's about. So I appreciate you guys for having me, and keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely, brother. Well, guys, like I said, this is the end of episode 45. All of David's links, everything will be posted on the page. If you have not, I mean, by now at least, if you haven't checked it out, I strongly recommend and encourage you guys. Worst thing's going to happen is you're going to get educated. You're going to find a new fitness guy to work out with, and you're going to be healthier. I don't see any negatives to that. If anybody does, send me a message, and I'll tell you to go take a hike. So, guys, thank you for joining us. If you haven't liked, share, subscribe, send me and Matt a message. I don't care what you do, but just try to take day by day and try to be a little better. Guys, thank you so much again.